Next up, we have the Volkswagen ID Buzz, specifically the cargo version. It's been 2 years since we've had it on the channel when it was launched originally in Copenhagen. Now it's here. You're starting to see more of them on the road. We're going to have a look around the outside, the inside, and then take it out for a drive. In this solid black colour, I think all it needs is a red stripe down along the side. Very iconic on the road. As I said, it's been 2 years since we've had it on the channel. We're going to have a quick look around the outside. Massive windscreen. And you've got your sensors down at the bottom just because they're so high back. Volkswagen felt that this is better. And the window wipers also clean them. You've got the optional LED matrix light. So depending on your market will dictate whether you get two-tone colours at the moment and what are some of the options. It seems that certain countries have picked certain trims. In the UK, you've got 2 trim levels. You've got the commercial cargo, which is the one with the grey bumpers, and then you've got the commercial plus, which is kind of the body coloured one. Here in Ireland, we've got 5 different trim levels, leasing around about €900 a month, and that's including VAT, including maintenance, and then prices vary between 52 and 58,000 euros here in Ireland. So it's not cheap by any means, but it is very much marketing. You want your business to stand out, having that all sign written, I think would be something totally different. This is the top level trim that we have, and it has the LED matrix headlights, and it also has that light bar between the large VW badge and the headlights. Certain lower trims won't have this strip in it. It doesn't have a frunk, as you can imagine. It's rear wheel drive. Just going to pop open so you can see it, and it just literally pops out. You can see it here, and it's kind of held on with this strap, but there's not much else going on here. But this is where you put your window washer. Down on the bottom, then you've got that large honeycomb with this one has the adaptive cruise control. So you've got your parking sensors. It also has the 360-degree camera. It has some air curtaining down along the side. Speaking of down along the side, you have 18-inch steelies or 19 and 20-inch alloys. You can't get them in 21s like you can in the passenger version. You've got a large quarter window there. When we talk about the driving and the visibility of the driving, you have your large gloss black indicator, and then you also have retractable. Yeah, it's 2 meters high, 2 meters wide, 3 meter wheelbase. So a nice size. With the top level trim, you have power dual doors. 3.9 cubic meters internally here, and you've got some tie-off points. You've got that plywood floor. You've got more attachment points, apologies. And you have tie-off points on the floor here. You can fit 2 Euro pallets side by side inside here, and this is the standard wheelbase. It is going to come in a long wheelbase version in the passenger side of things, so I assume it'll come in a long wheelbase with regards to this commercial cargo as well. You've got your 3 air-cooled, they don't do anything, they're just literally body mouldings. And then this one has the split doors, but you can get it with a top opening if you need something that can give you a bit of shelter maybe when you're in the rain or whatever it may be. But this one has the 50-50 split doors. I've seen in some markets that there's a single sliding door option, but this one has the dual sliding door option. It's got 3 lights up top, 1 at the rear and then 2 in the middle, which is great for such a smaller van. It is up to 600, just over 600 millimeters to the top of the door, because your battery pack is in underneath there, and you also have your electric motor because it's on the rear. So it is higher. Number one, it isn't as big as a Transporter, as an example, with that 3.9 cubic meters. Laden weight around 600 kgs, again, depending on the trim, and it can tow up to 1,000 kgs braked, but that would affect your range. Speaking of range, it is about 425, and I did a bit of driving this week. I did about 330 and I had 70 left, so now that was unfortunately unladen. Now you've got your lights here, and again in certain markets this black moulding is actually a light bar. So again, depending on how the market has spec'd their trims, so what you'll get is you get a clear lens that goes all the way along. Here in Ireland, this is the top trim, so that doesn't happen. You've got the large Volkswagen and you also have the ID Buzz writing there. High level brake lamp, and you have the shark fin aerial. What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. I think it's super stylish, very, very easy to drive, even though it's coming from the commercial side of Volkswagen. It's based on that MEB platform, which is the same as the ID3, ID4, ID5. And so, yeah, you know what I mean? It's the Volkswagen commercial side of the business has borrowed the passenger car, so it does feel like that. Charging. So it's a 77 kilowatt hour battery on the versions that we have here in Ireland. Charging flap is down here. It is 11 kilowatt on AC and up to 170 kilowatt on DC. So 10 to 80% in about 30 minutes. So decent charging speeds for a commercial vehicle. And then you can see we've got the other side. Now this one has the solid bulkhead. You can get it with a window here, but this one's currently, and you can get it with a pass-through. Nice little storage area in underneath here with your charging cables so that they're not rolling around the place, which is a nice place for them. More tie-off points, 6 tie-off points in total. Door opening is about 700 millimeter either side, and the height is about 1.1, and the overall height is about 1.2, 1.3, depending on what part of the roof you're measuring off. Let's have a look at the passenger side first. This is coming in the 3-seat configuration. This is the only version that we have in Ireland. In the UK, you can option a little box section that was in the front of the passenger vehicle. If you haven't seen that video, it's already up on my channel, but then that makes it a 2 captain seat with armrests. So in this version, there isn't any armrests for the driver. I have seen a bench with armrest, so again, depending on your market. So massive cubby space up on top here, and so it's USB Type-C on this side and 12 volt on that side, and it's the same. That top part doesn't change no matter what side the steering wheel is on. USB will always be on the side and 12 volt will always be on that side. Lots of durable, rugged plastics, some space in underneath here, a lockable glove box, which is always good to see. Then you've got your electric window opening on the door handle. USB Type-C here in the door, another pocket here, and a water bottle pocket down underneath here. There's your release for the bonnet for getting to do your window washer. Up on top here on this side, you also have a drinks holder. Bench is not bad. You wouldn't want 3 big people inside there, but you can fit them in. And what I like about it is, unlike some other electric vans that have kind of come over from the diesel version of them, this is straight all the way through, which means the knee room and the leg room is very good, whereas sometimes you have to twist your knees in and around it. On the door you have the ability to unlock or lock the rear portion, central locking, your door mirrors, heated, retractable, and the windows up and down. You've got your little shelf here, you've got your more pocket down here, you've got your adjustability on your seat, a couple of different ways. You've got your play pause pedals on this trim. Over my right knee then, you'd have your light control. You've got a drinks holder up here, so you can see lots of space. This is going to kick in now. Up on top on the dash, another thing that I spotted during the week was USB Type-C for a dash cam, the power unit there. Because it's not very tall, you don't have overhead storage. You've got your SOS button, you've got your lights, and you've got your indicators there. Just waiting to stop my Android Auto wire, so it's wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. This comes on either a 10-inch or 12-inch version, again, depending on your trim. And we are going to, there we go. So your infotainment screen, your climate is controlled, and you've got some shortcuts down the bottom. So you've got this one does self-park and reverse parking, assisted parking. You've got your climate control, smart classic, so you would have seen this on the other ID models. It's dual zone. It's saying, and because it's a bench seat, it is allowing me to have a heated driver's seat. If there's a second seat on the right hand side, that will allow you to heat that as well, and a heated steering wheel, 3-stage. You can see the dual zone there. Your hazard button, which I thought had to be physical, whereas that's touch, but that's fine. Your parking assists and all your driving assists are here. And then your drive modes. So depending on what you're looking to do, let's have a look at the different driving assists. So you've got your driver attention warning, your speed sign recognition, you've got your lane keep, your blind spot, etc., etc. So IQ drive is what they call it in Volkswagen land, and you've got eco, comfort, sport, and then individual in the driving modes. You've got some HVAC in underneath here. You've got, because it's got the power doors, you can either have them left, right, and you can have it off. This one then has the smoker pack ashtray. And it has some more storage down in underneath here, so middle passenger has somewhere to put their drinks and stuff. Here is 2 USB Type-Cs, and it's a Qi wireless charging pad for your phone. 5.3 inch, and it's movable, reach and rake, but you can see it moves up and down and in and out with the... Up and down only? Oh no, in and out as well. It moves in and out with the steering wheel. Left-hand side is your wipers and your indicators. Right-hand side is your drive stalk, so you can drive. You can hear it engage there. Back for reverse. And you see we've got our cameras there. Reversing cameras. Sorry, there isn't 360 cameras. They're just reversing cameras. Parking. And it has 2-stage regenerative braking. You can see the D for dynamic or B for it's not one pedal driving anyway. And then you've got your haptic buttons on the steering wheel. This is for your volume, your audio, your voice assistant, etc. And then on the other side you have speed sign, or sorry, your cruise control, your drive modes, speed limiter, etc. What's it like? Headroom. I'm 6'2", 188 centimeters, and there's a good 10-12 centimeters there above my head. I think there's a missed opportunity with regards to, like, even with the bench. You see them in a lot of commercial vehicles, the fact that this could fold down as a table for writing dockets, having your lunch, etc. Even in the new Fords, the steering wheel kind of folds flat and turns into a table. I just think there isn't enough flat spaces. And I know on the 2-seater version with the captain's chair on this side, there is a cargo box that you can get for down along the middle here. But again, I'd like something just here. Either this panel folds out, and if you watch my other electric van reviews, and there must be 25 of them there now, and this has been recorded the day I'm flying out to IAA Transportation, which is a large truck van show in Germany, but I'll get this video out this evening. But there'll be a lot of electric vans and truck stuff coming through on that show. So there's a lot of interest in it. And I did a recent video across my socials and on here for ATC here in Dublin, who are using ID Buzz passenger crew cars, vans, sorry, for bringing them left, right and centre. So rear wheel drive, it is a 150 kilowatt electric motor, giving you 205 horsepower, 310 newton meters of torque. WLTP range is 425. I was getting around 400 on Leyden. Now that was motorway, that was Dublin to Longford, Longford to Portarlington, Portarlington back up to Dublin. So a nice little loop of a lot of motorway with M50, etc., etc. And so range-wise, good, but then you start putting stuff into it. As I said in my first review back in Copenhagen a couple of years ago, it'd be nice if this came with stuff in it, just to show the actual range of it loaded. Starting to see more of them around, as I also said at the start, which is good. Now let's take it out for a drive. Nevo Electric Vehicle Show is back in partnership with Bank of Ireland. The show's second instalment will take place in the RDS Simmons Court on the 10th of November 2024. Building on the sold-out success of the previous show, this will be Ireland's largest ever motor show. Experience all things e-mobility with over 30 manufacturer brands displaying over 80 electric vehicles, the latest in charging and energy solutions, engaging discussions with industry experts, exhilarating test drive experiences and captivating live vehicle demonstrations. Visit nevo.ie today to learn more and register for your free ticket. What's it like driving the ID Buzz Cargo? You sit in, you put your foot in the brake and that activates it because it's keyless entry, keyless start. There is a start-stop button on the side of the steering column. I haven't used it all week. Then you put it into D mode and you hear the drive tone, bong. Then you know that you can see it lighten up. And then you push it forward again and it goes into B mode. And then automatic handbrake releases. Oh my God. So quiet, so smooth. You can really see where it is coming from, that MEB passenger car background. Lovely. Central locking kicking in. Let's run through our checklist. Visibility, it has blind spot, which is great, built in the side of the Volkswagen side door mirrors. I'd like if that light was a bit brighter, if I'm honest, and I've said that before, across some of the Volkswagen group, whether it's this Cupra or the Skoda, etc. And this one is a small bit bouncy. It is coil in the front, McPherson strut, McPherson strut in the front, and multi-link in the rear, and just without any weight in the back. It's a small bit hoppy. As I said, I drove it down to Longford, no issue. Cross country, then into Portarlington. Yeah, lovely. Super smooth. I'd like one pedal driving. It does have automatic handbrake. My God, it's so quiet. If the range suits, once you put your load in the back, whether it is a stationary load in the sense of that you're a tradesperson and you need tools, etc., and shelving. Weight is a big thing, obviously, to look at, and I know some of the larger fleets here in Ireland that we're working with, when they're talking about and think about going electrification, we look at what's their stationary load and what's their static load that they carry all the time. Okay, where can we reduce the weight in that? So shelving, maybe using aluminium shelving. Sortimo in Germany would be a good brand that Volkswagen work with when they're fitting out these vans. And so understanding what is in the back, what that weight is, and then doing your daily runs is important. But my point being, if it suits, if the range works for you, smaller urban runs, deliveries, logistics. I know that the Dublin Plumbing Company, I'm not sure what his name is, but there's a blue and white version of these scooting around Dublin. I've seen them on Post, our postal delivery service here in Ireland. Dublin Airport have a lot of them, landside and airside. And so there are a couple of fleets starting to creep these in, and I think you're going to see more and more of them on the road. Yes, they're definitely on the more expensive side, but it is something totally eye-catching on the road. So you could probably allocate some marketing spend towards that budget when you get it signed right and written up, but also the leasing or the purchase price of it, because it'll definitely be spotted. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, you have to make sure that, as always, following rules of the road and being courteous to your other drivers, and not be a typical van driver of old. In the olden days, they're a lot more, you'd hope that they're a lot more courteous on the road. I digress. So range is good. The seating position is nice. I would like an armrest here. As I said, I was watching R.S. Simmons in the UK. He had one, and his one was a bench seat, but it also had the armrest. But there is a nice padded, it's actually not padded, it's just nicely sculpted here on the right-hand side on the driver's door. Steering wheel is good. It's got those Volkswagen haptic, and I know that Volkswagen have learned from this Generation 1 ID family, and so what's going to be happening, there's your brakes there now, so discs at the front and drums at the rear, and then the automatic handbrake then as well. My point in the Generation 1 is the buttons on the steering wheel, but also the buttons on the infotainment screen. At night time, they don't have a backlight. Really, people just wanted, whether it's in a passenger car or in a commercial vehicle, give me a button that I can reach over and press, whereas this one, it's haptic sliders, and it'll be changed for the next generation. But otherwise, yeah, plenty of power. I haven't changed the drive modes, and I rarely do in electric vehicles, but we can try it now in Sport. Low, 310 Newton meters. Nobody needs it, and you definitely don't need it in a commercial vehicle, but it's there if you need it for whatever reason. But then obviously the eco, etc. We're at about 74% with 307 kilometers, and I can change to see on the driver display. You've got a little view button, and you can see since starting it only a couple of kilometers ago, we have had 19.1 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers. And then we can go long term, 19.7, that's over 1,200 kilometers. And then since charging, which was the last thing I did before I started, around that 19 kilometers. So you can work that out. As I said, it's 425 is the WLTP. I'm getting between 350 and 375 unladen. So probably near that 300 kilometers. And then you have to start thinking about motorway driving and winter time, etc., etc. Overall, a super pleasant drive. Really enjoyed it. if you can make it work for your business. And no, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of electric vehicles that are starting to tick a lot of boxes for people, and you can see them on the playlist and new ones coming down the line. We've got eDeliver 5 from Maxus, which is going up head to head to this really. There isn't going to be an electric Volkswagen Caddy, so this is going to be probably the form factor that you're looking at. We've got the new eVito coming out, and then you've got the Stellantis stuff as well. So lots of choice out there. Battery size, payload, range is going to be it has to work. If it has to be business viable, and having telematics and using those telematics. And at Nevo, we work with the likes of Geotab to make sure that the companies that we're working with that are transitioning to electric are able to track the data and show the use case before they make any changes at all. And that's hugely important. Hopefully you've enjoyed that look and drive of the Volkswagen ID Buzz Cargo. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit the like button, leave a comment below, share it with somebody that you think might be interested in it. And remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to enjoy the next video too.